Hello everybody and welcome to Motorsport Life, and we have to start off with an apology again, and I really am sorry about the lack of content that's been up on this channel recently. And it is because when I first started this channel off, I had plenty of time and was like, I'll have loads of time, I'll be able to do this, upload regular content, etc, etc. But the obvious happened and stuff changed and I ended up not having enough time. But again, that should now be something of the past and we should be getting up a lot more content for you guys. So again, really am sorry, but hopefully it's going to change, including some live streaming, but we'll get onto that later on. So what have we been up to since we last spoke to you? Well, from our side of things, we've been doing some fun things. We raced in an endurance kart race in Club 100 at a track called Wilton Mill in Northamptonshire. Club 100 is the premier kind of arrive and drive championship in the UK. Uses two-stroke TKM karts, so you know they're rev to 14,000 RPM, so they're singing, they sound amazing. They're all identical, so they transport kind of a fleet of karts to each round. Pay your money, you rock up, you don't need a license, you don't even need your own race kit. They can provide it all, and you rock up and you spend your day there. You race in a championship that's, you know, they do 11 rounds a year across the whole of the UK, and it is awesome. We'll put some footage up for you, or might have done already, and show you what it's all about. But we had a great time. We didn't do so well. Let's not blame teammates, hey, because it was a 2-hour race with 3 of us driving. So it was great fun. It's always good to get involved with motorsport, especially when it's with your friends. So I thoroughly recommend it. Do go and check out the link in the description to go and find out what it's all about, because it is probably the cheapest entry-level motorsport that you can do, other than just going indoor karting and driving around a piddly little track inside for 15 minutes. This is proper outdoor quick kart at a decent level. So yeah, really recommend it. And if you go to the website, you'll notice that this helmet is famous because it's on the homepage with my head in it. That sounds weird, but yeah, you'll see it on the homepage. So what else have we been up to? Well, we have reinstalled our sim racing rig, and there's one very good reason for that, and that was because recently I saw a sim racing title appear which I hadn't heard about for a couple of years. So a couple of years ago, a company, I think called Black Delta or something like that, released a kart racing sim called Kartcraft with a K, kart with a K, craft with a K, and I thought it looked really good. The only other one that I'd seen was Kart Racing Pro, which kind of did a little bit, but it wasn't really there. They obviously just didn't have the resource to get it done. But Kartcraft came out and I was like, oh, this is good, this is okay, you know. But they obviously weren't happy with it and completely scrapped it and started again from scratch. Rather than giving up, they carried on going, and they've just released, kind of 2 years later, a early access version of the game. It's got three tracks. I think it's got about 8 chassis designs on there, but I'm not sure if they're actually different. You can't do setup work. You can't even do races yet. You can just kind of do free practice and hot lapping against a global leaderboard, which I think was very clever because it gives you something to aim for. Even during early access, it's still competitive. But it's really good. I mean, the video, I'll put it on now, but the early access video, which really got me drawn into it, made it look amazing. I mean, they're obviously using a VR headset, which obviously makes it better, but the sound is great, the look of the game is amazing, and I honestly think that the physics are in a really good place considering how early it is. And they've already released 2 updates in the last kind of 2 weeks, so they're really pushing on. They're taking back, you know, users' feedback and running with that. So that's really good. Again, go and check it out because it is an awesome title. It's a bit kart heavy though so far, isn't it? So what we've also done is, off the back of that, you know, it's one of those snowball things. You get your sim racing kit out and you're like, ooh, what else can I get? So we reinstalled Assetto Corsa, and I used to play it quite a lot, and we reinstalled it, and I've just started to install some new mods and getting into that, because I used to have like GTR Evo and Race 07, because what I liked was that it had loads of mods and games like that, and R Factor obviously, and games like that had loads of different mods, and you could mess around with it and go on crazy cars at crazy circuits and things like that. And that kind of disappeared when all these new titles came out, but Assetto Corsa have brought it back. So before filming this video, I was just driving a BMW M5 road car flat out around the Transfiguration Highway in Romania, made famous by Top Gear obviously a few years ago when they went there as one of the best driving roads in the world. And I'll put it again, there'll be footage of this on the screen, but it was awesome. And there's loads, you can go to like Lake Louise in Canada and blast around that lake. You know, it's now got the Top Gear test track, it's got loads of hill climb tracks, it's got the Alaman TT course, and every single car you could possibly imagine, from like a Mark 1 Golf through to F1 cars and everything, and I mean everything, including buses in between. So we're definitely going to be getting our teeth into that, and there will be content on this soon on this channel. And finally, that then led us to find Assetto Corsa Competizione. Nailed it. And that is the new official Blancpain GT racing simulator, which is great. I've been waiting since GTR2 basically, for an official GT sim racing game to come out. And early signs are good. It's only got the Lamborghini Huracan GT3 and the Bentley Continental GT3 and Misano and Nürburgring on there at the minute. But there's a new update due on the 14th of November, and there's developments all the way through to February next year. So it's going to be coming out quick. I would get it now because it's quite cheap at £22, which I know doesn't sound necessarily cheap, but I imagine when it comes out it'll be around £40 or so. Save yourself money, get involved with the community and the early access stuff, and get involved because, again, it's great and certainly something to look forward to for the future. So that's what we've been up to, and I guess we should look at what's been going on in the whole world of motorsport. And this is the prime time of year for championships to be wrapped up, which is happening kind of every weekend now. We've had like Gary Paffett winning the DTM, Scott Dixon I think winning IndyCar, Colin Turkington winning touring cars, Marc Marquez winning MotoGP pretty much, Jonathan Ray winning the World Superbikes. Was it Leon Haslam that won the British Superbikes? I can't remember. But there's been loads of championships sealed up till now, and obviously the big one with Lewis Hamilton winning his 5th World Championship, so massive congratulations to him. I know he's not everybody's flavour, but you've got to respect him for his driving, because he pretty much went from being in the slower of the cars out of Ferrari and then to winning so many times that it just ground Ferrari into the ground, who couldn't come up with an answer. So that's been happening all over the place, and that kind of leads us now onto the main section of this video, which is going to be all about the motorsport that you can view, watch, engage with throughout winter. Now, everybody knows that winter is not a great time for motorsport. It usually runs from about March to October, November time is the main season, and then from now until March, there's not much going on. There's just driver market stuff in F1 and MotoGP, which is kind of gets a bit boring with speculation. Speculation drives me insane. Why don't we just wait to find out? This is always my opinion. But anyway, so we're going to go through a list of events, championships, one-off races that are available and going to be taking part throughout the whole of the winter season. So hopefully we can then alleviate the blues that come with the lack of motorsport. So in no particular order, we're going to go through them, and first off we're going to look at Formula E. Now, I'm sure you're all aware, but Formula E is an all-electric single-seater racing championship, and it goes around many different cities and takes part actually in the city centres of these places, and it is a winter championship. So it starts in, I think we've had the first race in October or November, might be coming up, and it then runs through till kind of early next year. And what to say about Formula E? Now, I like the concept. I like the idea of it only being one day in the weekend. I like it going to city centres, making it accessible. I like the drivers that are in it. You know, we've got Felipe Massa in there now. We've got Sebastian Buemi, Jean-Eric Vergne, Nick Heidfeld, all F1 drivers. Lots of WEC drivers, previous GP2, Formula 2 drivers, etc. So the level of driver is certainly up there. The Gen 2 car, so the new car that they're using this season, looks a lot better. They are no longer doing a car swap, which was also a bit of an issue in the race, and those are all the bits I like. So the things that I don't like, and the main problem for me, is it's just not quick enough. They accelerate very quickly, but I think they only get up to like 100, 110 miles an hour, which obviously is quick, but compared to WEC, Formula One, MotoGP, all of these things, it's not that quick. And the racing, because they're all at street circuits, which are like 90-degree corners, they can be a bit clumsy. And you don't get an idea of the grip as cars go through long sweeping corners, flat out and stuff like that. So it's more on the edge because of the racing as opposed to the actual cars being on the edge, if that makes sense. So I will, of course, be watching it because I really want to see how the Gen 2 cars look and work. And do check it out. There's a lot of coverage on YouTube. They've got their Formula E channel, which is great, and go and check it out because it is motorsport at the end of the day. Whether I think it's the ultimate future, I don't think it is. Hydrogen's future, not electric. So that's the first one. Second on the list is probably my favourite one throughout the winter, and that is the American Supercross Championship. Now, if you're not aware of what the Supercross Championship is, you might know what motocross is, which is dirt motorbikes with huge suspension, riding over massive jumps, berms, bumps, etc. in the mud, and they race there usually outside in the summer. But what happens in America? It's American based and only races in America, but it is a world championship, an FIM world championship. And what they do is they put the tracks inside stadiums, so in the massive baseball stadiums or like the Staples Center and places like that, and they build a full supercross track that fills the whole of the base of it, and they fill it. I mean, fill it. It's an awesome atmosphere. It's great to watch. The battles are insane. It's on the edge the whole time. There's usually a number of riders who are capable of winning it, and it's qualifying and practice on Saturday, race on the Sunday, and it is phenomenal. And it is quite hard to watch in the UK because of the time difference. And but again, YouTube's your answer for that. I normally manage to catch it the day after or a couple of days after when it's all up on YouTube, and there is a lot of content on it with interviews with riders, and especially now with people like Ryan Dungey, Ryan Villapoto, Chad Reed, Dave Millsaps and people like that who used to be the old guard who've now either retired or on their way out. You've got people like Jason Anderson and Marvin Muscan and representing Europe, whoop whoop. It's great to see these riders come up, and it's going to be interesting to see if Jason Anderson can keep his title and keep that going, or if somebody new like Dean Wilson or someone's going to come in and try and take that away from him. So that's another one for you. So the next one isn't a championship, but it's a very well-known race, and I mean, race is a pretty simplistic term for it, but it's the Paris-Dakar Rally, which is the most famous of the adventure or cross-country rallies or the rally raid events that happen in the world. It used to race from Paris to Dakar, but it's changed now. I think it's in like Argentina and Chile and places like that, but it still sticks to the roots of it, which is driving flat out cross country without any roads or paths and across sand dunes. It's all done by a navigation road book, which kind of gives you arrows and distances between where you need to turn. And there's no marker, you just have to kind of work out at mile 123.4 you need to turn right and go around a rock or something. And it really is one of the last kind of motorsport events that's man versus machine, like Red Bull Hare Scramble, at Erzberg, Alaman TT, these proper on the edge, man versus machine versus Mother Nature, have to dig themselves out. They have to make sure that they navigate right. People can be lost for hours, and they could lose the rally because they just get lost. And it's not like you just get a sat nav. They have waypoints to get to, but again, that's all from the road book. They have emergency beacons, I think, if they do get completely lost, and they are willing to sacrifice the rally because they're done. But yeah, check it out. It's in January, from early January normally. And it's on for at least 3 weeks, 2-3 weeks. And again, it's, cars, motorbikes, quad bikes, buggies, and the massive going to have Kamaz trucks, which carries all the kits around for the teams. So there's a lot going on. I mean, the footage from it is incredible. People like Tim and Tom Coronel are racing the buggies. They're crazy. Couple that with the crazy environment of Paris-Dakar, it's awesome. So go and check that out. And I think we have a couple of honourable mentions to make, and that would be kind of, there's a lot of GT racing that happens in the Middle East and Asia at this sort of time. So there's the Gulf 12 Hours, which is at Yas Marina, GT3, GT4 touring car race, all in one big race, and also the Dubai 24 Hours, which is at the Dubai Autodrome circuit, which happens in January. And again, there's slightly different rules to Blancpain, and I'm not going to go into them because they're very complicated, but check it out. They're all on YouTube, again on the 24-hour series website. So things like that are also going on, to always keep your eyes peeled, because there's stuff going on like winter racing series for Radical, or who else does them, like Ginetta and things like that, usually have winter cups going on. And also we have things like F1 testing, which I don't think starts until February, but there's plenty to fill your time between then and now. So hopefully that gives you a really good oversight of what there's going to be available for you to watch throughout the cold winter months, to keep you from going mad whilst this off season, which now kind of is turning into a different season, it all kind of moves to the Middle East, or it goes, to America and places like that, so that the weather's a bit better, because in Europe it's not very good. So yeah, well, let us know if you think that we've missed anything out, anything that you are interested in, or you've seen, or you watch in the winter months. Let us know down in the comments below, and we'll take a look at it and add it as well. But I really can't stress it enough, YouTube as being a great outlet to watch motorsport now. There's so many channels that host live footage, they host highlights, they do behind the scenes, like WRC we tweeted recently, and they do how they convert a rally car from full gravel spec to tarmac spec in about 40 minutes. It's insane. But there's loads of stuff out there. So if you subscribe to us below, then you can have a look at who we follow and subscribe to, and follow them from there. Check us out on Twitter at Motorsport Life _ and on Instagram at Motorsport Life. There's loads of content always going up on there. And on the social media theme, we're going to round this off with our usual segment at the end, where we showcase and put the spotlight on a creator online of excellent motorsport content. We don't just put anyone on there, it's got to be good. And today, along the Paris-Dakar theme, we're going to showcase a channel which is for a person, and that person is Lyndon Poskett. So he is a off-road motorbike racer. And I don't mean motocross, I mean like rally raid, cross country, and he has got a great channel. We'll start putting some stuff up on the screen now of this happening, and how to say it really. So when I started this channel, obviously I got recommended loads of YouTube channels to watch, and this one popped up, and I was a bit like, oh, it's motorbike, yeah, I get it. And I started watching a series that he makes called Races to Places, which obviously showcases the fact that he races 2 places rather than on a circuit. And it was a series that he did, or he's done multiple ones, but this series that I caught was one that he did throughout the whole of the Paris-Dakar. Now he did something at the Paris-Dakar which I didn't even know existed, but it was called, I think it's called like Mani Moto or something like that, which means that he races in the stages on his motorbike, then he arrives back at the bivouac where his team has set up an area, and then he has to service his own bike, make any repairs, clear filters out, change fuel, fix tyres, change everything, and needs to get his own food, needs to then go through his road book for the next day, needs to make sure that he's looked after, he gets enough sleep, that his kit's ready. He has to do it all himself. And he documents every single day of this. It's about 20 episodes. The first couple of episodes start with him in his workshop in the UK, and then first couple of episodes, and then from 3, 4, 5, then gets into him arriving and then taking part in the race. So he has a GoPro on him the whole time for all of his stages, so he uses that. He then does a vlog style, kind of in the bivouac in the evening, showing what he's done, and then his team edit that whilst they're driving to the next bivouac and upload it via satellite, I think. I mean, it's crazy. The production that goes into it to be able to do that sort of thing on a daily basis from there is incredible. So yeah, go and check him out. And as always, if you've got any recommendations of a great YouTube channel that you want us to showcase, then please do let us know down below in the comments. And that's going to be it for today. So I do hope that you've enjoyed it and that this has given you fuel for thought for the winter months. And yeah, make sure you subscribe if you like what we do. But there will be more content coming, of which there might be live streams. So do subscribe and make sure that you've got notifications on to see them. But that is going to be it for now. Thank you so much for watching. But until next time, bye bye.